Hi everybody, this is Dave speaking. Thanks for joining us on Dave Bradley's Lifestyle. We're in for a real treat today. We are featuring James Barratt on the front cover of Dave Bradley's Lifestyle magazine. I'm standing here in Auckland, New Zealand, actually in James's gym. We're talking about a gentleman who's helped many people in many aspects, especially myself, as far as having a bad back at one time when I was living here in New Zealand. I now live in Toledo, Ohio. And I go to a great gym over there, but I happen to be in this part of the world right now in summertime, which is great. James, the first time I came along to you, I obviously looked really good, was good looking and smart, intelligent and tremendous. Unfortunately, what you found out was the truth. The truth was that I was an absolute total mess, even though I looked good and smelled good. What was your opinion of me when you first came in, and the things that you did for me that worked almost immediately? How did you come across that?
Basically, what you told me about your lifestyle, you'd been doing a lot of sports over a long period of time, and you'd been involved in a professional level of sport as well. If you do something high repetition and you are not necessarily balanced in your approach to that, if you're focused on one sport all the time, it's going to create an imbalance in the body somewhere. And for you, it was coming out in your lower back. You had an uneven amount of strength in the muscles on the inside and the outside of your legs from kicking a ball or a lot of the time, and then those same muscular habits had carried over into other parts of your life, like running, lifting weights. If it was swimming, those muscles are going to work in the same kind of patterns. So what we did, we went back to basics with you, and we got the deepest muscles of your body functioning normally first, and then as we peeled back the layers of I suppose, dysfunction in your body, we found that there were some imbalances in the muscles between the inner thigh and the outer thigh, for instance, which was then causing instability in the hip, and your body was coping with that by creating more tension in the back.
So that leads us to the fact that you started the gym that you started, which is, I wouldn't say it was specifically specialised, because it's not just that one area that you do, seeing as that the name of the gym is Total Body. That was just my particular situation. What gave you the idea in the first place of starting this nature of gym?
Well, we've been working out of mainstream gyms for several years and dealing with a lot of people with underlying issues. My preference is to train people who have, let's say, there's nothing going wrong with their body, and you can just challenge them, give them develop coordination and stability. Unfortunately or fortunately, word of mouth got around that we had a little more of an understanding of what was going on with the human body than the average personal trainer, and you get one success after another. You develop skills by working with physiotherapists and other therapists that sort of snowballed, and before you know it, the word of mouth is telling one person after another that, oh, if no one else can help you, come and see James, perhaps he can guide you. Really, all I do at the end of the day is help you understand your body so you can manage it. Can't necessarily stop your back from having degeneration, but I can stop that degeneration from having a negative effect on you, because you understand what works and why.
And we do have some great videos that we've done with James, and you might have seen some of them, and we'll post some new ones up on there for you. But in the case of, if you were speaking to somebody out there right now that's probably a little bit more locally based, what would your advice be to them about total body, fixing any kind of a problem that maybe they've not been able to fix yet?
Well, first of all, if you're having an injury or an imbalance repeatedly come back, and you're training, you're going to the gym, you're running, you're swimming, you're doing those kinds of things, and you just keep getting that little niggle that comes back, goes away. The things that you need to be looking at is my body balanced? Do I have an equal amount of strength in one group of muscles, and then look at the opposing muscle group on the other side of the joint and say, are those muscles as strong? For instance, if you're strong in the upper abdominal and you're weaker in the lower abdominal, it's going to come out at some stage. So what we do is we look at people in all the planes that are possible. We have a look at how they move forward, how they move backwards, how they squat, how they reach, and then we say, okay, are those muscles evenly balanced? We then design programs that are going to assist you, whether you're training with us or whether you're training at your own gym, and bring you up to speed on what your muscles should be doing. If you're doing a chest press, you should be feeling your chest. If you can't feel your chest, then perhaps the muscles in your back aren't working properly, stabilising the shoulder girdle. So what we'd really like to do is offer to anyone out there that is needing some help to get control of their body and reduce or eliminate their pain, please feel free to contact us and we'll do what we can to help you. We have a fantastic team and we'd love to see you.
Well, James, it's great to see you again. Every time I come back to New Zealand, which is at least a couple of times a year, I always come back and see James so I can get tweaked on what we call doing a bit of a fine tune, right? And the interesting thing about when I come back here, the first time I come in and do some work with James, he doesn't give me anything to do. He gives me a bit of a warrant of fitness, if you like, to find out where I'm at, so that he's not going to give me something that's damaging me, because if I slip backwards a little bit from being away from doing the right thing, that could be a little bit dangerous. So for me, when I come back here, it's not so much here's the workout, it's more, oh Dave, you're getting it wrong here, so we have to fine tune it a little bit. So James, great to see you again. Thanks for helping me out. I'll be forever thankful to you, but you know that. And for information to know how to get hold of James and Total Body, the information will be underneath the video on the website so you can contact them. Good chat to you, it's been great talking to you. So it's over now from Auckland, New Zealand, from James and Dave.